This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Beautiful beaches attracting tourists near and far. Sprawling, peaceful farmlands lining scenic highways. Lovely historic towns with a friendly village feel dotting the landscape. Baldwin County has it all. Established in 1809, 10 years before Alabama attained statehood, Baldwin County is the largest county in Alabama, larger in fact than all of Rhode Island. On this episode of Beyond the Menu, we are traveling around this picturesque Gulf Coast community looking for a good story and a great meal. Let's get going. The Civil Works Administration, unveiled in 1933 by Franklin D. Roosevelt, was a job creation program to get people working during the Great Depression. One of the accomplishments of these laborers is the Old Armory, built in 1934 in Foley, Alabama. This historic concrete block structure was purchased in 2019 by owners Sylvia Smith and Ephraim Kadish. When renovations were completed, local and company Food Plus Drink was born. Choosing to embrace the existing steel and concrete elements of the building, they have skillfully turned the industrial aesthetic into something both comfortable and chic. Looking around the restaurant, you can catch glimpses of the Old Armory, including the original security bars located in what were the weaponry and ammunitions bunkers and are now posh and inviting restrooms. Joining me today is co-owner Ephraim Kadish. Ephraim, this place is just absolutely gorgeous. There's just a warmth, a comfortable feeling, but more importantly, there's a real energy about it. How did you accomplish this?
Well, we took advantage of what was here, right? There's 90 years of energy in this building. And as you said, it started out as a labor to get people back to work. And so we've done the same thing. This was many, many things through the years. And it needed a lot of love and a lot of care. And it took us about a year to go from purchasing the building to being able to open our doors. And we were able to listen to the building, and it told us what we could do and what we couldn't do. And slowly, piece by piece, we put it together, and there's a real positive environment. It's a really positive energy that comes from the building.
It feels good just to walk in. It's like it makes you happy just to come in and see what you and Sylvia have done.
Mm-hmm. We changed a lot. But when you take something that has a lot of history to it and you improve upon it and you make it feel better, it makes you feel better.
I think that's very true. And I have to tell you can tell a lot about a place just simply walking into the ladies' room. And that space, you almost want to just stay in there. It's gorgeous, and you have the bars and the pink and the art. It's beautiful.
Well, we wanted to save as much as possible from the original design. And so we have small elements that were left. This originally was not a decorative building. And so we picked up on the bars in the bathroom and the bunkers where the explosives were kept and the format of the whole building. That we didn't want to change, and we didn't change. And so we just took advantage of what was here and we turned it into something beautiful.
And you and Sylvia did it all yourselves.
We designed it, and we took the lead on all of the construction. We really like the social aspect of a restaurant, you know, and over the last year, the social aspect of life has disappeared. And so one of the comments we get from our guests is that this is a lovely social environment where everybody's comfortable and can really enjoy their company and their food. And so that's how we got our name. So we started with the name Local because we wanted to be a local restaurant. And then we came up with, okay, local and company because everyone here has a lot of company. And so it's driven by the locals. We're here to take care of the locals, which not many people take care of them. Not many businesses are solely geared for the locals and their company. So it's one of these things that goes around, right? So they set the stage for this building and they promoted this building and they held on to this building for years and years and years. And now it's back to becoming a local gem.
You've listened, and it certainly has become a local gem. I know everybody will want to come and visit. So especially our WSRE viewers that are watching this program. The beautiful bar that you have, let's talk about that. How did that come about?
Well, we were undecided what to do with the bar, and we met a local craftsman. Honestly, we took a chance on him. And we talked about purchasing a tree and cutting it down and making the bar and doing some resin and some lighting inside of it. And he was able to do it. And it's a beautifully done bar, and it's one of a kind. It's a piece of art.
It does seem like a piece of art, a major conversation piece as well, worth coming in and taking a look at, right?
Oh yeah, and the drinks are not bad either.
How would you describe, now we've talked about the building, but now let's talk about the food. How would you describe it?
The chef and I have been working together on and off for many, many years. And we think a lot of the same about food. It's really a reflection of who we are. And so we like an abundance of food. We like really nice, fresh flavors. We take advantage of whatever we can find locally. And we put it together in a way that's very unique. And so the flavor profiles and the colors and the textures all work really well together. This is not a cookie cutter restaurant. This is something that we continuously push ourselves to try new things.
Mm-hmm. Seems like every bite just incorporates years of experience and travel and flavors. Would that be a fair assessment? For sure.
You know, our whole lives, we have done different concepts and different food and for different places. And our thought here is really twofold. One, it's to respect everyone that's been here in the past, because without their efforts, we wouldn't be able to be here. And to take that and push it forward, and take the town of Foley and Baldwin County and put them on our backs a little bit and bring them forward.
I love that. And you mentioned the drinks aren't bad. How about a special cocktail that we wanted to talk about? So
we created a special cocktail just for the WSRE viewers. It's a very light, crisp coconut rum cocktail with all fresh juice that we make and will be offered as part of raising money for WSRE.
That's wonderful. So it's almost like the secret menu at Starbucks. If you don't watch WSRE, you don't know about this drink, right?
Right. It's only available to our viewers.
So now let's talk a little bit more about the cuisine.
Yeah, so we're an upscale American restaurant, and our food has no boundaries, right? America is vast, and we grow and produce and fish, and you know, we have a lot of variety. And so we try some things that are innate to us, right? We continuously look for new products. Yesterday, the chef and I were working on a dish that we haven't seen anywhere in a long time. You know, things like oxtail and lamb spare ribs and all kinds of things. You know, even some of the dishes that you see in front of you, you know, the shrimp and okra salad. It is Alabama, It is fried shrimp, it is fried okra with lots of greens and a warm bacon dressing. This is geared very specifically for the people who live here and the people who are moving here.
Ephraim, let's talk more specifically about the food, starting with the beautiful salads.
Well, our salads are very unique. And so we have 5 or 6 different salads that are really almost a meal within themselves. They're multifaceted, they have multi-layers of flavor, they have multi-layers of ingredients, and they're all tossed together to become one. So we have a shrimp and okra salad, and it's local shrimp, which we very lightly bread and fry, and we have local okra that we also lightly bread and fry, and it's tossed with local watercress, Napa cabbage, and a very warm bacon dressing. So it all comes together really nicely, and it's a little sweet and a little bit sour, and it's amazing.
It looks amazing. And you have some just beautiful seafood.
Yes, one of the guest favorites is our pan-seared sea bass. And it's a very interesting dish because as I explain it, you'll understand why. So we have a pan-seared sea bass, which is served with a romesco sauce. And then underneath it is a farro risotto. So we've taken a grain that's not used predominantly in risotto, and we've been able to take that and make it into a risotto with local cherry tomatoes and a brown butter sauce.
And then appetizers, you have a plethora, but a favorite seems to be the cauliflower.
Yeah, we actually have a shareable side of our menu, which takes the place of the appetizer, which helps promote the social aspect of our restaurant. And so this is a lightly crispy, right, fried cauliflower. So cauliflower is one of those things that's been very chic, over the last couple of years. And in order to get people associated with it, so people will try it, right? So we did it in a fashion that everyone's accustomed to, right? So we lightly fried it, and we serve it with buffalo sauce and ranch dressing. But the flavors are just amazing. I mean, there have been so many people here that have come to us and said, I've never eaten cauliflower before. He goes, but I'm here every week to eat more.
I know they'll want to come and try all of the different flavors, but you've done something special for our viewers.
So we did a hummus for our local viewers, and the hummus comes with grilled naan bread and roasted peppers and olives and cucumbers, and it's one of those dishes that you just kind of eat, you really get into it and take it piece by piece and eat it.
It's just absolutely beautiful, and we appreciate you doing this for the station and letting our viewers that are in other parts of this area know that you're here. We're excited about that. And tell us why you think it's important to support community television and other nonprofits.
So our name is Local and Company. So we love to support any and all local efforts. PBS and WSRE has been part of my life since I was very small. I watch it all the time, and it's really informative, and it's one of those things where it makes you feel good about what you're doing and who you are. And so doing a specific dish for our guests with a glass of Barbera would only make the day better.
I think it's just absolutely wonderful because it makes you feel better to come in here just as watching PBS does. Thank you for that. Well, there you have it. For a donation of $100 to your WSRE PBS, we are assembling a pack of dining vouchers for you to have an upscale American dining experience at Local and Company, Food Plus Drink, and the other restaurants highlighted in this episode of Beyond the Menu. Your voucher pack will include one special dish from each restaurant along with a paired glass of wine. We encourage you to participate in this interactive television experience to see and enjoy the thriving food culture in Foley and throughout Baldwin County. Call or log on to our secure website to make your donation today. Quantities of dining vouchers are limited, so don't delay in showing your support of local restaurants and local public television. Ephraim, we want to thank you for all you've done having us here today and all you do to support the local community.
Well, really, that's why we're here. You know, it's really our pleasure. You know, for the local community and for the WSRE community, we're here for you and we'd love to see you.
In 2008, this historic Section Street building in downtown Fairhope was transformed into a casual fine dining experience. At Tamara's downtown, the love of art and culture is on display in a fun and unassuming way, including on the ceiling. The massive handcrafted bar attracts both locals and tourists ready to try out happy hour specials. And the New Orleans-style courtyard is a popular spot for larger parties to come together to celebrate special occasions. I'm here with Tamara, the owner and executive chef of Tamara's Downtown. So I have to tell you that I've been having such a great time looking around at all the great art that you have, Tamara. You have so many cool pieces. It really makes you want to walk around before you dine and just check everything out. It's beautiful. What was your inspiration?
My inspiration was American Cajun cuisine, but the art on the ceiling, just because it's such an arts town. And so these are local artists. The art just came to play, and it just worked.
It's just beautiful. How long did it take you to do?
A day and a half to hang those paintings.
Wow.
The guy just went up and down. They're for sale, except the ones on the ceiling are not, because I can't rehang them.
Now let's talk about you and the restaurant business. You're certainly not a novice at this. You've been in the restaurant world for a long time.
A long time, 40 years.
Wow, tell us about it. Wow, you're evolving into this space.
Well, back in the 80s was my first, and now I'm here, evolving in this space. I mean, this was changed in '92. It used to be an old auto parts store, believe it or not. And that's where the old brick comes in and the concrete floors and the old architecture. So it was revolved by some other restaurants, and then we just kind of took it from there when I got it and redid it, and I made it into what it is today.
You've got a beautiful bar as well, so it's not just food. You've got that as well. Tell us about that.
The bar was handcrafted by Pat and Tucker and Andy. They did it piece by piece. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have, it's very stunning once you see the bar. It's old style, old world in a way, like an old gangster bar, you know? It really is cool. We're sitting at the bar. People love it. So it's really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And so at the bar, you serve all kinds of different things.
Great bourbon selection, cocktails of any kind, martinis. We have a wine bar as well. We have an extensive wine list.
So I understand the Bloody Mary bar that you have is fantastic. Is that on the weekends?
Oh my gosh, the Bloody Mary bar. Can't say enough. Yes, we have Saturday and Sunday brunch. Starts at 10:30 on Saturday, 9:30 on Sunday. But this Bloody Mary bar is like got 10 to 12 items. You take your glass up there and you put all your little goodies in it. It's fabulous. It's got all the items from green beans to carrots and salsa. Green olives. You can make it spicy, it can be normal, it can be any way you want to make it. And then mimosas to follow by the bottle on each table. Everybody comes for Saturday and Sunday brunch. It's really something you have to see, but it's really, really a pretty setup.
So the space is fabulous, and I hear the food is amazing. I will be in soon to try everything, but let's talk about your food selection.
Well, the food selection, everything, like I said, from steaks, seafood, fresh seafood, a lot of little Cajun, even some French, like escargot. You have avocado fries that are very popular. So there's a very extensive list.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the seafood, because people around here want to know that they can go into a fine dining experience or a casual dining experience and enjoy our great abundance of seafood.
Well, my seafood selection is really very, very nice, I believe. Everything from salmon, sea bass, mahi, grouper, snapper. And then our specialty is encrusted grouper. And what that is like a 7 to 8 ounce piece of grouper encrusted with panko. You can have it grilled. You do not have to have it encrusted. You can have all our fish blackened or grilled, by the way. And it's gonna have a Gouda mashed potatoes with sauteed spinach, and then it's gonna have a 3 cheese Mornay. Now the Mornay is gonna have 3 different cheeses, from smoked Gouda to Swiss, Monterey, with a little cream, and then it's gonna have crab meat in it, and it's put on top of it. That dish is so good. We use these for a lot of our special events, rehearsal dinners that I do, any type of private parties that they love this dish. And it's good with anything. I mean,
sounds decadent.
It is very good, very decadent.
And you're very hands-on. You're not somebody that just oversees things.
No, I'm in the kitchen with my son, the sous chef. We create. We're coming up with new things all the time, trying to evolve, keep up with the times. It's like fried Brussels sprouts are real popular right now.
Right.
And so,
yeah, and you said avocado fries. That sounds interesting.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Can't take those off the menu.
Those are here to stay then,
Those are here to stay.
And you've got a real showstopper, I understand. People will literally turn heads when a certain dish comes out of the kitchen. What would that be?
We do carry steaks, but this tomahawk is a show to see. It's like the old Fred Flintstone steak. It can be shared for 2 as well. But it is a showstopper. It's a beautiful piece of meat, and it's Black Angus. All our steaks are certified Black Angus. And it comes with some choices if you like. It doesn't have to be with the Brussels or the carrots, but it can be made any way you want. The tomahawk is just, it stands out. It's a massive piece of meat. It's like 32 ounces.
That sounds wonderful, and I know the aroma around the restaurant really brings your diners in.
With an open kitchen, you can definitely smell the aroma.
Well, what are some other special aspects of Tamara's? I mean, somebody that hasn't been here, they come in, what can they expect?
Well, you can expect to walk into a beautiful atmosphere. Our happy hour is so popular, starts at 3, 7 days a week. You have everything from martinis to $5 apps, everything from boom boom shrimp to little pizzas. So it's very variety. We have something for everybody. You know, we have snow crab. It's just the experience of sitting and enjoying each other's company, having a bottle of wine or a glass of wine, just having a cocktail, martinis, birthdays, whatever you want. We can accommodate and help you.
Well, and you seem like you enjoy it so much.
Oh, you know, I've done this so long, I do enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy knowing everybody and getting to know people. Very local place. And we love the tourists as well.
Well, and how about shrimp? We've talked about your seafood selection is incredible.
Well, the shrimp, we have so many different shrimp dishes, shrimp and grits, 3 different ways. But we also have the barbecue shrimp, which is awesome. It actually starts with the Meunier sauce, which is actually a burnt brown butter. And it's actually a Worcestershire butter. It's gonna have some cream, and then it's gonna have some shallots, celery, onions, garlic, thyme, rosemary, and some other secrets there as well, all sauteed with shrimp, and they're headless, so you don't have to stick your fingers in it. You can just stick your bread and put your shrimp on the bread and stick it with the sauce and eat it. People love the barbecue sauce itself. People just take that sauce and keep it on their table and dip their steak in it. It's not like barbecue sauce. It's a barbecue sauce New Orleans style.
So Tamara, you've got a beautiful restaurant, great art, wonderful food, lots of patrons, and yet you still take the time to give back. Why is that so important to you?
Well, thank you for asking. You know, the community means a lot to me. We're here to do anything we can do to help when we can. I mean, we give back toys for tots, even old Tamara's toy drive this year. We've done the Rotary Youth Club. We do cigars for veterans. Bush does a great job, so we'll help donate over there. I just feel we all should help give back in these days and time. I've been blessed. And so I want everybody to understand I'm here for them.
That's lovely. And specifically, you are helping public television right now with us being here and letting our viewers know about Tamara's. I'm sure so many of them are familiar, but some may not have been in a while. And so what kind of a dish are you donating for our viewers?
Okay, what I've done for y'all, which I think in a lot of menus that I've gone, or even here, I only have one chicken dish. And I think women, I mean, when I go out, I look for a great chicken dish. And I would love something to just a piece of chicken on a plate. So what I put together for you is a nice smoked chicken. It's a nice smoked ground chicken breast. It's gonna be wrapped in bacon, and it is so good. And then it's gonna be paired with a Gouda mash, and those are Yukon mashed potatoes. So there's not the red russet, those are the gold. And they're boiled down and seasoned just right with some nice smoked Gouda. And then you're gonna have grilled asparagus. And they're seasoned with some salt and pepper, and maybe a little garlic. And then on top of it, I'm gonna put you a little bit of roasted red peppers. And those are grilled and topped with a little rosemary. Around the dish, you're gonna have just a touch of a demi-glaze, which is made out of bone marrow. And it's very good, and it's tasty with it. So the combination is outstanding. Now I did pair it with a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is a lemony type wine, so it's paired so well with that smoky flavor that comes from that chicken. And the bacon, you can't forget the bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? I mean, I love bacon. I eat bacon every day. But it's just paired well. Once you eat it, you understand the flavors that come out from drinking that wine. Wine pairings, actually we do a lot of them here, so that's a great wine pairing dinner right there. And
great dinner for our viewers.
Yes, your viewers are gonna love it. And you can't get it. I mean, chicken, I know it seems simple, but it's not. It can be done so many different ways in a great way. This is a great way.
Very elegant.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, for your donation of $100 to WSRE PBS, we are assembling a pack of dining vouchers for you to experience casual fine dining at Tamara's downtown and the other restaurants highlighted in this episode of Beyond the Menu. Your voucher pack will include one special dish from each restaurant, along with a paired glass of wine. We encourage you to participate in this interactive television experience to see and enjoy the thriving food culture of the Eastern Shore. Call or log on to our secure website to make your donation today. Quantities of dining vouchers are limited, so don't delay in showing your support of local restaurants and local public television. Tamara, thank you so much for your time and for your support of WSRE.
Well, thank you for having me. And viewers, please come in and visit us at Tamara's Downtown. We'd love to have you.
Built in 1847 and located in picturesque Point Clear, Alabama, the Grand Hotel is steeped in Southern history. It has played a key role in the Civil War as a military hospital and in World War II as a training facility. Over the years, the Grand has hosted celebrities and notable figures such as Margaret Thatcher, Dolly Parton, Patti LaBelle, and many others. Within this elegant resort is the restaurant Southern Roots. The executive chef of Southern Roots is Cory Garrison. He's been cooking for nearly 3 decades after attending culinary school in Scottsdale, Arizona. He also notably opened the Omni Hotel in Dallas, Texas. Chef Cory, thank you so much for showing us around today.
Sure, it's really my pleasure that you guys are here.
We are so glad to be here, and this property has so much history that you have your own historian here.
We do. We're also on the Historic Hotels Register.
And you have to be a historic hotel for a number of years to do that?
Yeah, I think it's about 50 years, and you have to have some kind of historic significance as well.
So you're listed in the National Register of Historic Places and have some historical significance. That's amazing. And most of that historic significance is because of the roles that this place has played in military history specifically.
It has, and during the Civil War, it was a hospital, and we have the remnants of that hospital on the 18th hole of one of our golf courses. It's a cemetery that has about 300 soldiers buried there.
And it just makes it just such sacred ground around here.
It does, for sure.
And you said during the Civil War that soldiers were very respectful of the property. I guess they recognized that it was a beautiful, beautiful and historically significant place already.
You're right. During World War II, the Army rented out the hotel for $1 and used it as a training grounds, and the soldiers would actually remove their boots in respect of the hotel and trying to preserve the hardwood floors.
And a lot of those original hardwood floors are still here today.
Correct.
So in 2008, you started a tradition that people can come and enjoy today. What is that?
We do. There's kind of a small history lesson, and we have a soldier that marches around property with the drums, and they end up at our cannon, and every day he does a history lesson out by the cannon, and then at the end of it, they count down and to the firing of the cannon.
God bless America. Standing clear. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And people don't have to be registered as hotel guests to be able to come out and enjoy it.
No, I mean, as long as you have a reservation at Southern Roots, which we would rather you have, it will cover your valet parking, so free valet parking. And honestly, if it was me, I would make a whole day of it. I would, get here a little bit early, walk around the property. There's a lagoon on the kind of the land side of the property that's beautiful and has ducks and, just a really nice walk. You could see the cannon at 4 o'clock. You could walk through some of our herb and vegetable gardens. You could have a cocktail at Buc-ee's prior to dinner, watch the sunset over Mobile Bay, which you can't beat those, and then finally end up in dinner at Southern Roots.
Sounds like a perfect day. So we've established how beautiful the property is, how historic it is, how people can come without being a guest of the hotel, make a reservation, or even show up. You might get a table, right? But what sets Southern Roots apart? What makes this a special restaurant?
I think during the conception of the restaurant, Southern Roots, we really tried to focus on the history of the area and using local ingredients as much as we can. You'll see a lot of references to peanuts and barbecue and pork. Things like that are kind of all over our menus.
I would imagine, and so that makes it exceptionally fresh too.
It does. Being this close to the bay and able to get the crab meat right out of the bay. We pull oysters from right by the Gulf down there. So it's a really good experience to be able to lead a team into doing that.
I would imagine as the head chef to be able to do that. And you have your own beehives, is that correct?
We do. We have a couple beehives that we utilize their honey inside of our dishes and at our breakfast buffet, actually. So.
And cheeses?
Cheeses, we'll make some cheeses, some of the more simple farmers' cheeses, kind of like the way they would make cheese, back in the 1800s.
Some things never change. And you have herb gardens?
We do. We have herb gardens. We also have a vegetable garden. We have fruit trees. There's a lot of foraging around the property for specific things during season.
Do you have a favorite dish here in the restaurant? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot with that, but what's your very favorite?
I'm partial to all of them. I think I lean to our guest for the favorites. The tomato pie that we have kind of just took off. We started making it and when we opened the restaurant, and then we've never been able to take it off the menu since then. So, and it's just using fresh tomatoes and cooking them down a little bit to pull out some of the sweetness. And then that matches with the flakiness of the tart shell, and then we use a yellow tomato butter to contrast the colors on it.
It's just beautiful, all of it. And so I would imagine that your menu changes seasonally or by what's available?
It does. Sometimes we get stuck in the tomato pies. A good example, you can't take off the guest favorites, but we try to change it every season, and we try to keep up with the seasons. Some vegetables aren't always available fresh, asparagus, right, being one of them. It's like 2 or 3 week window. So having the ability to change the menu frequently helps us a lot.
There are some lovely farms in the area, so I would imagine that you get things from so many different local sources.
We do. We try to source as much local as we can, and we work with a couple of companies that travel to the farms and then bring the produce over to us.
And one of your favorite dishes is the seared pork belly, is that correct?
It is, the barbecue glazed pork belly. It's a local pork belly that we take and we cure it for 3 days, and then we roast it off in salt and sugar, slow roast on it. We then coat it in our own barbecue sauce that we're making out of some smoked tomato ketchup that we make, as well as our own hot sauce that we've made here at the hotel for a while. We pair that with local peanuts in a couple different ways. We make a brown butter peanut butter, and then just some crispy peanut that we put into a slaw. We also have some chili dusted popcorn with it, just kind of for texture in that dish, and then a little bit of red chili vinaigrette that kind of opens it up for your taste buds to enjoy.
I imagine that's very, very popular, and it's a good starter for people, right?
It is. It's something that if you were going to have a fish as your entree, it would be a good way to start off. Something a little bit heartier.
Southerners love their barbecue. And you've got a crab and avocado toast?
Yes, we do. Kind of a homage to being here on the bay. With the excitement over avocado toast in the past couple of years, we've taken ours and paired it with crab meat that's out of the Gulf, some red chili, some mint to kind of lighten it up even more. And then we like to garnish it with some radishes that give a little bit of a punch, and then some flowers that give kind of a floral essence as you're eating it.
So I'm a huge fan of avocado toast. Never seen anything presented quite like that. Can't wait to try it. It looks wonderful.
Thank you. We do kind of focus a lot of our efforts on the way the food looks as well as the way it tastes.
And then grouper. That's a popular dish as well.
Our basil crusted grouper. The basil is coming out of our gardens. The grouper's coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. We like to pair it with a very creamy and herbaceous mushroom risotto. And we find that pairing something a little bit heavier with this works out really well with it. And so we've added a veal jus, or a veal stock, a demi-glaze if you will. And then we top it with last season's tomatoes. We take the tomatoes and we kind of turn them into a conserve, or we preserve them, and are able to mix a little bit of sugar in with them and some nice chives to bring out some of the flavors. And it gets topped with that to kind of enhance it and bring up the richness of the dish.
So you have created something very special for our Beyond the Menu viewers. You've touched on it, how it can't go away, and I'm so glad that it hasn't gone away, because people are going to love your offering.
Sure, we're offering our tomato pie, something that's near and dear to most Southerners' hearts. You know, the tomatoes in the South can't really be beat, especially in the middle of summertime. We do ours with a really silky, smooth yellow tomato butter. The next step of it is a really flaky, amazing pastry. And then we fill that with some roasted tomatoes with a little bit of sweet onion to bring out some of the sweetness. We top it with Gruyere cheese. And then on top of it all, we add a little bit of a bitter greens frisee lettuce with some of the fresh tomatoes and some fresh herbs.
And so, Chef, you're also pairing this lovely dish with a glass of wine.
We are Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. It's light and crisp. It does well with the tomatoes. Sometimes tomatoes can be hard to pair just off the acidity of the tomatoes. But the tomatoes that we're using are a little bit sweeter, on the sweeter side, so the crispness of this wine actually elevates the tomatoes in the dish, and it's strong enough to cut through the butter.
So, Chef, tell us why you and why Southern Roots support public television.
Well, I think for myself, I grew up watching it. I turned and became a chef. When I was a kid, there was no Food Network. It was, it was watching Yin Can Cook and Ming's Dynasty, and it was watching, Justin Wilson put a little bit in his hand and then drink and drink and drink and drink. Something that I always wanted to grow up to become. That, and I watched a lot of the British comedies. Chef was another thing that was a show that got me really involved in cooking.
And it was important to you to do this program, I understand.
It was. I got so much out of it as a child growing up, and then to be able to, be on a show that supports local food and Beyond the Menu is a great choice for us to reach out and be part of. We
are so glad that you're a part of Beyond the Menu, Chef. And for a donation of $100 to your WSRE PBS, we are assembling a pack of dining vouchers for you to experience the history and Southern charm of Southern Roots, as well as the other restaurants highlighted in this episode of Beyond the Menu. Your voucher pack will include one special dish from each restaurant, along with a paired glass of wine. We encourage you to participate in this interactive television experience to see and enjoy the thriving food culture scene of the Eastern Shore. Call or log on to our secure website to make your donation today. Quantities of dining vouchers are limited, so don't delay in showing your support of local restaurants and local public television. Chef Cory Garrison, thanks for all that you do for the community and specifically for this public television station.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for being here. It was a lot of fun, and we really hope to see a lot of viewers come in to have dinner with us at Southern Roots.
Big Fish in Orange Beach, Alabama, opened its doors in 2010. In a building that once housed an old, outdated dance club, owners Leck and Leck Lilayuva got to work creating the seafood restaurant of their dreams. If you ask the locals for a restaurant recommendation, odds are they will point you to Big Fish on Canal Road. Being located off the beach road, Big Fish is a place that Orange Beach locals flock to for an extensive fresh seafood selection, inviting atmosphere, and relaxing cocktails in their beautiful courtyard. I'm here with Leck Lilayuva, owner of Big Fish in Orange Beach. And Leck, I have never been in before. You have built something so special here. I just love it. Is this a lifelong dream come true for you?
Absolutely not. quite the contrary, actually. So I grew up on the Gulf Coast. My father's from Bangkok. My mom's from Birmingham, and he had a long line fishing boats growing up as a kid, and he opened a restaurant. And I remember as a child having to bus tables, clean fish, wash dishes, clean fish, serve, starting at the age of 9, serving at 12. Absolutely hated it. Told myself I was gonna never have anything to do with the restaurant business or with fish. I don't know what happened. Something went wrong around there, but so here we are.
Well, it's a good thing, because think what the locals would be missing out on if you hadn't come full circle and come back to your father's business.
Yeah, after working in the restaurant business for a while, and then I get an opportunity to travel abroad. I went to Bangkok, where my father's from, and that 2-week vacation turned into several years. And eating a lot of different street markets and restaurants, I really loved the flavor of the food. I remember standing at street markets every night, just watching these women and men just cook all these different dishes. And then I'd been there for so long, I'd created relationships with them, and they, spoke about their recipes and how they did what. And I came back, I met my wife at working in a restaurant, matter of fact, and I wanted to, before we married, I wanted to impress her, so I went to an Asian market and I found all these ingredients that I remembered, and somehow I put them together and created the dishes that I remembered, and she loved it. And she was like, we need to open a restaurant. And I was like, there's no way we can open a restaurant. I can't cook for more than 2 or 3 people. And then fast forward several years later, Big Fish came about.
And so you're infusing those beautiful flavors with fresh local seafood?
Yes, we, so when we started the restaurant and we're creating the menu, I didn't want to be catty-cornered as a Asian restaurant. I wanted it to be, a fusion, but introducing ingredients that the area hasn't really seen before. I was kind of taking a, step out of the norm, so I didn't know if it would make it or not. Luckily, the locals took to it and they appreciate it, and they're obviously enjoying it because they're coming back, so here we are.
We get a lot of fried seafood on the Gulf Coast. We love it. We love the tartar sauce. We love all of that. But you do something a little differently here, and you've won awards because of it.
Well, we once we came up with a little Asian twist of different menu items, we came up with a dish called the ginger chili glazed shrimp skewers. This came about through a chef challenge that happened in 2010, about 4 or 5 months after we opened. And we decided to enter this contest, and somehow we pulled it off. It became the #1 dish. We won the chef challenge, and now it's one of our #1 selling appetizers.
I'll bet it is, and it's interesting to see bigger chain restaurants picking up on some of those trends and utilizing those and trying to mass produce them. But this is a wonderful place to get the real deal.
Well, I appreciate that. One thing that we also do differently is we definitely carry a lot more fish than other restaurants. Most restaurants carry the basic grouper, red snapper, mahi, salmon. We stepping out a little bit more. We have anywhere between 10 to 12 different fish on the menu at one time, ranging from red snapper, golden tile, triple tail, swordfish, amberjack, cobia, wahoo, hog snapper. We get halibut flown in from Alaska, Chilean sea bass. So we're really trying to introduce fish that most tourists haven't had. And most of the time, we usually have about 9 to 12 on the menu any given night. Everything's cut fresh daily. You can walk into our cooler at any time of the evening and see my fish cutter in the walk-in cooler cutting fish.
And speaking of cutting fish, sushi.
Sushi is one of our #1 focal points. We have one of the best sushi chefs on the island. Her name is Mimi Yi. We are lucky to have found her. She has worked at several different restaurants on this island. And I guess she just didn't really find that happy home. And she's been with me for probably 9 years now. And we bumped heads so many times, but she's like Mama Mimi. We love her to death, and she definitely brings a lot to the table, and the customers just absolutely love her.
No pun intended, a lot to the table.
Yes,
You've got a lot of seating, and yet it feels cozy and intimate.
Yeah, we try to create different divisions in the restaurant. So we have a bar area with table, that can be, for more people that want to hang out by the bar. We got a little cozy area for intimate, more date night type settings. We also have a larger dining room with white, not tablecloths, but white paper on the table. So we got family-oriented section where the kids can color and play on the tables. And then we also have the back dining room, which is more for anniversaries, larger adult-oriented families, trying to keep that to be more kids.
Sure. Well, and something for everyone then, and in fact, so much so that you've had a number of celebrities popping in, I understand.
So we've had frequent, Emeril Lagasse comes quite often. Morgan Freeman has came. We actually made a room dedicated to him called the Morgan Freeman Room, because first time he came, he was wondering why we didn't have a private dining area. So literally the next visit, that room was ready for him.
Nice.
We've had Mario Van Peebles pop in when he was shooting a movie nearby. We've had Brett Favre come in, Lucas Black from Fast and Furious and CSI New Orleans, so it's quite cool.
You never know who you might spot when you're having this great seafood. And I would imagine that you've got an amazing dish that's a kind of a celebrity in itself, the hurricane?
Yes, the hurricane. It's just a mass selection of shellfish, basically. You can get that in a Category 3 or Category 5. That's basically just the size. So the Category 5 will come with 2 lobster tails, jumbo scallops, jumbo shrimp, blue crab claws, and mussels tossed together in a home-based tomato sauce. And the way we make that, we make it in-house. We take fresh tomatoes, fresh carrots, fresh onions, and fresh garlic. We simmer it all down, we blend it together, and then we poach the shellfish in it. And then once we have that poached, we start adding red peppers, yellow peppers, green peppers, fresh basil. Got a little jasmine rice in the bottom of it just to, for a filler. It's basically an appetizer, but it's also been made into an entree.
I'm sure. It looks honestly like it could feed about 10 people, or 10 me's anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Leck, you briefly mentioned the shrimp dish. Tell us more about that.
So this dish came to life whenever we entered that chef challenge back in 2010. And basically, the way we had done it at the challenge was we had the shrimp skewered on lemongrass skewers. So it definitely brought out a lot of that aroma. So now what we did was the way we make this ginger chili glaze is we take fresh ginger, we take fresh shallots, fresh lemongrass, cilantro, and a few Thai herbs and spices, and I blend it all together, and we just make this nice paste out of it, and we heat it up to kind of make it into a reduction. So we keep it in a jar. And once we saute the shrimp, we just glaze the shrimp with it. We toss it with a little bit of Asian slaw and our version of a cucumber salad, and that's our
incredible, just beautiful. And the lemongrass and the cilantro, the way that comes together.
The aromas are amazing.
Yeah. And then you have a tuna dish.
This tuna dish is amazing. This tuna dish has actually made people who have never eaten sushi before try the entire sushi menu and start loving sushi, because once they get past the texture, then they start to actually appreciate it. This tuna dish, what it is ahi tuna diced up with avocado, cilantro, our version of a chili sauce. Mimi comes up with these amazing sauces, and she's come up with this award-winning, just amazing dish, and it's tossed in a little fried wonton bowl. And she holds it up with little cucumbers and a little cream cheese on the bottom. It's absolutely amazing. Definitely our #1 selling dish.
Wow, true artist.
Yes, she is.
Absolutely. Can't wait to try it.
Yes.
Leck, we've talked about some beautiful signature dishes that you have here at Big Fish, and you're actually doing something just amazing for our WSRE viewers, giving us a nice donation. Would you tell us about that?
Yes, ma'am. So with a donation to WSRE, we're offering our signature style entree called Big Fish Style. And what that is you choose the fresh catch of your choice. It can range from anything from halibut, like we prepared today, can grouper, red snapper, amberjack, mahi, salmon, Chilean sea bass, cobia. All these fresh catch are going to be one of our choices. You'll have at least 9 to choose from, so I'm sure you'll be able to find something that you like. And the way we prepare this dish is the fish will be sauteed. It's going to come over jasmine rice, sauteed spinach, fresh ginger, fresh scallions, and it's going to have a ladle of sherry soy broth in the bottom of the bowl. Super refreshing, very light, very healthy. We're going to pair this dish with a glass of Napa Cellar Chardonnay from California. And we chose this wine because it's got that citrus undertone, which is going to be perfect for that ginger.
That is just so incredibly generous of you, Leck. Tell us why giving back to the community is so important to you.
Well, our locals and the rest of Baldwin County have been so supportive over the years that we figured maybe reaching out through public television was a way to get in with all their lives. We also have a soft spot for our fur babies. So we also every now and then team up with BART, which is our Baldwin County Humane Society, and we also team up with All About Dogs. And we just love our fur babies, so we try to do a lot of charity support for them.
We appreciate your support for WSRE as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, for a donation of $100 to your WSRE PBS, we are assembling a pack of dining vouchers for you to have a casual yet upscale dining experience at Big Fish and the other restaurants highlighted in this episode of Beyond the Menu. Your voucher pack will include one special dish from each restaurant along with a paired glass of wine. We encourage you to participate in this interactive television experience to see and enjoy the thriving food culture on Orange Beach and throughout Baldwin County. Call or log on to our secure website to make your donation today. Quantities of dining vouchers are limited, so don't delay in showing your support of local restaurants and local public television. We want to thank you, Leck, for sharing with us your story and just your amazing restaurant.
Well, I'm very honored to be here today. I appreciate everyone. We're so excited to have the WSRE viewers to come out and join us. We can't wait to be able to entertain them and show them what we have to offer.
The food culture throughout Baldwin County is constantly evolving. Southern hospitality is the way of life, and the people in this community wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Menu. Programs like this one are made possible by contributions to your local PBS station, WSRE. Thank you for your support.